Hey there everybody. Today we're going to work on making some nice stencils to make some spray paintable, cheap target shooting targets. You can see I already have done some work on these. Basically just drilled out a nice hole. However, the problem with that is you're just shooting at a big black spot. You don't have a nice fine point to aim at. So I don't think it's really effective in gauging or improving your marksmanship. I have done this kind of thing in the past where I basically just set something in the middle while I spray painted it, and that gave you a nice little point to aim at. But I wanted to do something a little bit more sophisticated and basically have a ring and then kind of a center point to aim at. I was experimenting out in the field the other day, and that seemed to give me a little bit better point to aim at, and I was shooting a little bit better just from having a better target, it seemed. So we'll get into that, and hopefully we'll get some a little bit more effective and funner targets. Plus it's a project, and we've got to have a project. So let's get into it. So I bought this set of this hole saw set at Harbor Freight the other week, expressly for this project. And so the first thing we've got to do is decide how big of a middle point we want of our bullseye, basically. So this thing's got quite a few. This is just about right there, if that's the size that we want. So we'll go with that. There, I think that'll be a good size. So first what we're going to do is we're going to drill the center hole here, and then we have to decide how thick we want that outer ring. So we'll get our hole saw out. So I think that'll give us about a 1/2 inch of an outer ring. So we can kind of zero in there and then zero in on that bullseye. So what we'll do first is cut out that little hole, and then we'll cut that out so we'll kind of have a little donut of wood. Alright, so we got the bullseye cut out, and now we're going to cut out the donut. Plug it in here. And this now this bigger saw here is cutting more wood, so you gotta go a little bit slower. And I tacked this down here so that it would stay centered. It wouldn't move around. Alright, so there we have it, our nice little donut. So now what we can do is we could just leave it like that, and then every time we paint a target here, just plop that down, line it up, and spray paint. Or we can do what I've done in the past, is attach it with wires here so that it's always in one piece. Then you don't have to keep track of multiple pieces. Well, there you have it, guys. That's our target there. We got a nice ring on the outside, a nice bullseye. And if you can see what I did here to fasten this, so it's going to rotate a little bit. I just took this piece of wire, punched a couple holes on either side, bent that wire, hammered it in, and then stapled it down so it doesn't move side to side. It does rotate a little bit this way, but that could be easily fixed by putting another wire across. Alright, well let's get this rattle up the spray paint and see how she looks. So, and of course, you know, as far as the size of the rings or the bullseye, you can do whatever you want, whatever size. And, you know, this is just freezer paper. And I just staple it to my target, and you're good to go. Now it's up to you to decide if it's cost effective. I just like having projects. I like making my own stuff. For the amount I shoot, I'd probably be just as well buying paper targets. But it's fun to make your own. And since I usually make a fire when I go shooting, I can just burn them when I'm done. Okay, well, hey, I hope you enjoyed this little how-to video. I don't make very many of them. And yeah, happy shooting. And remember to pick up your brass, and don't shoot glass, and don't leave shit out in the woods. Maybe we'll see you out there. Ciao.